Our Star Spangled Banner today will be performed by Colin Regan, Rachel Freeberg, and Barcelona Boyd is our ASL translator. Good afternoon and welcome to our George Washington Carver School of Arts and Science commencement ceremony, honoring the class of 2019. I am Allegra Alessandri. I am the principal at Carver, and I am delighted to welcome you today. We welcome our parents and families and friends. We welcome elementary school teachers here to celebrate the graduates. We welcome our outstanding faculty and staff and those who've committed to providing a social and environmental justice education for our students. And of course, we welcome you, dear class of 2019. I would like to introduce to you also our distinguished guest. Superintendent Jorge Aguilar is here. Instructional Assistant Superintendent Mary Hardin Young, Kathy Allen, Chief Operations Officer, and Board of Education Trustee Christina Pritchett. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Christina Pritchett, who has been a champion of Carver for many, many years, serving on our Board of Education, and we thank her for being here and sharing some words with our graduates.
Taller than I am. Short people problems. Good afternoon, and thank you for allowing me to join you today. It's truly an honor. On behalf of the Sac City Unified School District Board of Education, it is my pleasure to welcome our distinguished faculty and staff, honored guests, and of course, the most important people here today, our graduates. Today is a special day. Today is all about you, graduates. None of us would be here if it weren't for you. So let's take a moment and take a trip down memory lane. You have come so far. Remember your first day of kindergarten? So shy and timid. You did not want your parents to leave your side. Then by the end of the school day, you didn't want to leave your classroom, or for some of you, it may have been the playground. Remember the feeling of starting junior high? The school seemed so huge and there were so many other kids, and unfortunately, no playground. You didn't know where to fit in. Now, remember the feeling of fear and happiness all mixed together on your first day as a freshman? From your first steps on campus, trying to find your classrooms and making new friends. Now look at you. You are all pros at this, and the younger classes all look up to your leadership. Many of you may not know what you want to do after graduation, but believe me when I say, most of us were in that same situation when we were your age. But rest assured, with hard work and determination, you will become a great somebody in this world that people will look up to. Did you know that your school was named after somebody that overcame struggles in life? Mr. Carver overcame the loss of his parents, racism, and poverty, but then went on to achieve great things. The traits that you see in your school are the traits of him. If there is one thing that I found in life that you don't need to be perfect to be a great somebody. I have found a passion from joy and volunteering and giving my time to others. It is my hope that you will find what inspires you and you do it with all of your heart. Social rights activist Desmond Tutu once said, "Do a little bit of good everywhere you are. It's those little bits of good that put together that overwhelm the world." I ask that you learn to love yourself and never, ever give up, even during the most trying times. You are valuable and important in this world. You just need to believe in yourselves. Now, never let anybody tell you that you cannot achieve your dreams. Only you can put limits on yourself. If you remember anything about this day, I hope it is that you are all an inspiration to many of us. Today's commencement is a beginning and a new start. Today is the age where your childhood ends and a new chapter in your life begins. Adulthood, as many of you in the audience could probably relate, has many advantages and disadvantages. However, this is a start of a new chapter in your book of life. As you begin your journeys of adulthood, please remember, there is no replacement for a good education. Getting a college degree or learning a new skill or trade will provide you with a greater level of understanding of the world around you. The speakers that you hear today can probably relate to the struggles of offering some type of wisdom to inspire greatness in each of you. We often think of inspiration as something that just comes to us by chance. But don't wait for inspiration to come find you. Find what inspires you and use it every day. I want you to know that each of you are my inspiration. I cannot express how proud I am of each of you. Lastly, look at all your classmates up on the stage here with you. Remember all the good times that you had with them? This is going to be one of the last times that you will all be in the same place together. I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Let's give a round of applause to Patrick.
It's a great pleasure to introduce Superintendent Jorge Aguilar, who would like to address the class.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Buenas tardes a todos. I wanted to just take a moment and also congratulate our class of 2019 and be with you, parents and loved ones. I was very touched by the Star-Spangled Banner. I was very privileged to have been invited to the recent accreditation reception, and I recognized both Colin, who played the piano, and Barcelona, who did the sign language. So I obviously don't know you, but I do remember you, and thank you for doing this work as well. Obviously, you have much to celebrate today, and we join you in that celebration, and we are all here to congratulate our families and our friends for your support of our students, for the sacrifices that you have all made to provide them the opportunities that some of you may have not had when you were their age as well. We all take pride in each of our students' achievements, because achievement is a community success, just as not graduating is a community's failures. I hope today is the first of many similar celebrations and happy transitions for you in education, in careers, and in life in general. I know that much has been said about our city and state and nation to move toward justice, environmental justice as well, equity, and a colorblind society. Yet we have much more to do, and the responsibility for further progress will ultimately rest on your generation. Not one of us knows what the future will bring, except that it will always bring change. Some of you may be considering a career now, but that may change as you advance your education and encounter new experiences and challenges and opportunities and circumstances during your careers and lives. We're here today to say that you will have to defy your expectations and those expectations that others may impose upon you. And while change is difficult in careers, in health, and in life in general, that change is always going to be part of your lives. And if the change is painful or sometimes seems overwhelming, you can be tempted to give up hope for a better future for yourself, for your family, and for your community. But we're here to say, don't allow that to happen. Reach out. Ask for help. Be inspired by the achievements of others who overcame great odds to succeed, and many of them are sitting in front of you today. The best way to defy expectations is to hope and to persist, because those two things will motivate you to keep learning new skills and creating new opportunities for yourselves. And finally, please pay it forward. Take time to honor and support your families, your community, and of course our country. Once again, warm congratulations and thank you to all of the parents and all of the loved ones that are here today joining our graduates. And of course, congratulations to our Carver class of 2019. Congratulations.
We have some traditions here at Carver for our graduation. And one of them is that we ask the students themselves to ask someone to speak to them. And earlier during our rehearsal, Mr. Duarte, their biology teacher and environmental science teacher, spoke to them. And now addressing you and the class is Elizabeth Garso, our English teacher.
Okay, who's going to time me? 5 to 8 minutes? We just finished a speech unit. So welcome parents, families, friends, and guests. It is an honor to be speaking to you today as we mark the graduation of the class of 2019. My name is Beth Garso, only my father calls me Elizabeth, and I am the English teacher for the 11th and 12th grade at Carver. And I really love my job. Every day is different, and through literature and writing, we get to look at big ideas like truth and beauty, love and hate, justice and the truth of human nature. I can objectively say that literature stirs the pot of human thought. And I like the students too. Most days I like what they have to say. Most days. There is a rare conversation, and I want to emphasize that this is rare, but I'm not very fond of this conversation. It goes something like this. So you didn't do your reading for class? Why not? I was super busy, and then honestly, I kind of got bored with it. And weren't you just talking to so-and-so about the new season of Black Mirror on Netflix last night? Okay, so right, you can see why I might have a problem with this particular conversation. But there's another piece in there that I have a quibble with, and that is the idea of being bored. Being bored is now often taken as being offensive. Oh, I was so bored. But when I hear students describe themselves as being bored, what I'm really hearing is that they're inattentive. Don't worry, I'm not going to scold you for being bored or inattentive. In fact, I would like to encourage you all to embrace the idea of boredom, true boredom, as a fortunate circumstance. Being bored can lead to great things. Being bored means you have nothing to do and your mind is empty. And this is the critical tipping point. Today, if we find ourselves slipping into boredom, we often reach for a screen. But something wonderful can happen if we simply allow ourselves to be bored. Now, at this point, I feel that full disclosure is required. Like any seasoned student who has left the assignment to the last minute, I turn to Google for answers. Thank you, seniors. Well, Google didn't yield any better answers about boredom than my own thinking and experience could muster, but I did find some interesting things. Did you know there are 5 types of boredom? 5. I'm not going to tell you about them because, of course, they're boring. But there is a boring society, and I'm not making this up. It's in London, and they have an annual conference and discuss such scintillating topics as, you guessed it, paint drying. This is all true. You can see their agenda online. But this is not really what I am getting at here. This is simply a picture of my own distractibility. As I said before, boredom can lead to great things. When we become bored, our minds are gloriously empty for a moment. And in that emptiness, we seek to fill it, and this can lead to a wonderfully creative state. Boredom can lead us to creativity and the state of flow. Flow is one of those trending topics right now, also found on the Google, but it's not new. And I can speak from experience about flow. Flow is kind of a cousin state of mind to boredom. Sometimes we call it being in the zone. That is for those of you over the age of 40. And being in the zone or in a flow state is a highly creative and highly productive frame of mind. Artists, musicians, scientists, regular people report that while being in this state of mind, time seems to fall away, goals are set, problems are solved, symphonies are composed, masterpieces are painted. One is completely and happily immersed in creative activity. You get the idea. This state of flow can even be maintained over a long period of time. And in fact, the body experiences beneficial physiological changes that we enter when we are in the state of flow. Our heart rate and blood pressure drop, and something interesting happens in the brain. We have an inner critic, kind of like the bossy pants of our consciousness, and it lives in the prefrontal cortex. And the prefrontal cortex is essential to survival and making good decisions. It tells us such things as, do not run the red light, or skateboarding off the roof will only end in tears. And not surprisingly, when we are teenagers, the prefrontal cortex is not fully developed. It explains a lot, doesn't it? But back to the main course here. When we are in a state of flow, the prefrontal cortex powers down a bit, it stops communicating with other regions of the brain, and then they are free to do their thing. Essentially, the voice of our inner Nagatha has been muzzled, and this, it turns out, is essential for creative problem solving. Sometimes the inner voice of judgment is a distraction, and distraction is the death of flow state and creativity. Okay, so why is flow state of mind important? Well, we live in a world where distraction is at our fingertips. We have to make a conscious choice to set aside the world of distractions. We are facing some pretty steep problems, and it is now more than ever that we need creative problem solving. I am not suggesting that we shove these problems forward generation to generation. No, I don't believe in welcome to your future and good luck with all the climate change and social injustice. No, I don't really believe in pitting generations against each other. I don't think it is useful or even kind. We all breathe the same air, drink the same water, and walk the same biodiverse earth. Rather, I hope you seniors can see that you're joining forces with the problem solvers of every generation who are out there already, and they are. Really, you have already made great strides in becoming problem solvers through your work with Mr. DeVard and the Watershed Projects and with Ms. Cook in your Civic Action Projects. In the adult world, you will have to choose your own assignments. However, I worry that as adults, you and I face mounting opportunities for distraction. And those distractions are cutting into our opportunities for creative flow state thinking. We need to learn to be the masters of our tools rather than become the tools of our tools. And this takes a great deal of conscious effort. So seniors, strive to embrace boredom, set aside distractions, Step away from the black hole of YouTube. The seniors and I read Brave New World by Aldous Huxley as our last piece of literature. It was published in 1932, but it is still very relevant. It is a scathing criticism of shallow thinking, rampant consumerism, and immediate gratification. One of our exercises was to take the big ideas that were examined in the world state, such as love or honesty or beauty, and to create slogans. So seniors, I have 2 slogans here for you that promote boredom. Get bored to get creative. It's okay. But this one's a little bit snappier, and it anticipates the upcoming 2020 election. Make America bored again. So anyway, seniors, congratulations. Be good, be kind, and make somebody else's day better. Thank you.
We invite any student that's interested or compelled or inspired to speak to you today to do so. And today we have 7 students who will be speaking. And I would like to ask them to just step forward and we'll hear from you. Rachel Friedberg, Kaylee Melker, David Pickens, John Schaefer, Suliana Tangatau, Noah Baldwin, and Elaine Bowles.
Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Friedberg. Over the years, a lot of students have left our class. Some moved out of town, others wanted more sport opportunities, others just wanted another school, and yet more felt that they couldn't keep up. Several wanted a larger school. I could see each person up here with me tonight and tell you their name. I may not talk with everybody outside of school, but I think it's safe to say we can all be considered friends. I've also noticed that Dr. Alessandri can refer to most, if not all, students at our school by name. I don't think these are things that can be found at a large school. We have a piano in the lobby at our school, and I've discovered our school has some pretty impressive pianists. Students show up with a violin or a wind instrument and play during lunch from time to time. I saw 2 kids wearing Care Bear onesies one day, not because it was Spirit Week, but because they wanted to. This class is made of fantastic artists, writers, musicians, and thinkers. We support each other and push each other outside of our personal boxes when we need to. We are also a class of activists. I think that particularly in this past year, we have all stood up for what we believe in. That could be through participation in a lobby day at the Capitol or student protests to demand action on climate change. It could also be arguing for limits on dress codes or a change in the dress code system, and also standing with our teachers in the call for better public education funding. Our teachers and faculty have supported us and guided us throughout these endeavors and taught us different skills when necessary. I like to say that Carver is a school for kids who wouldn't really fit in anywhere else. Because of that, we all fit in together. The faculty and students here have created a space where people can be themselves, and while some might want a more traditional high school experience, we have a school where we are surrounded by people who respect us for who we are and where we learn to show others that same respect. Finally, I've been with some of you for a very long time. Lizzie, Ryan, and Tyler, I think we all had at least 1 year of kindergarten together, and Jake, you joined our class several years later. And then there are also several of you who were in the same elementary school in the class parallel to ours. The rest of you I have met sometime during the last 4 years. I am extremely happy to have known every one of you. And starting today, we're all going to go our separate ways. I don't know when we'll cross paths again, but I've enjoyed the time, whether almost 14 years or only 2 or 3, that I've had to know each one of you. Thank you and good luck with whatever you're doing in the future.
Hi, my name is Kaylee Melliker. Most of you may know me as the girl who would run and flip all over the campus. But a lot has changed since I was that tiny little freshman. When I first came to Carver, I thought that it was going to be like every other high school. But I was wrong. Being at Carver has been an adventure and one I will never forget. As a kid, I never felt like I belonged in any of the schools I went to. I always got bullied. But being at Carver, I felt like I did belong. I knew Carver was a place that I could just be myself and that was okay. And I would like to thank all the teachers who have helped me persevere and succeed through all the 4 years at Carver. But there was one place in particular that I felt that I truly belonged, and that was the RSP room. The RSP was not just a place I felt I belonged, but a place I called home. In the RSP room, there was always something fun going on. They got me to laugh and smile every day. I've had so many memories and good times with the RSP teachers. Whether we just chill in the RSP room with Miss Rodriguez to sing it in the class with Miss Maria. And going down the water slide at Fun Day with Emily. I still can't believe we made her do it. It has always been a place where I felt my most safest. I have learned so much from Carver and the people in the RSP room. And I have grown so much in my academics. Thanks to Miss Maria, I have learned to take amazing notes, especially in math. And also tricks on how to stay organized. Every day in the RSP room, I would help Miss Maria out and kind of be like her little assistant, which I loved. I'm definitely going to miss setting up the classroom for her and always looking for her keys. I am going to also miss helping out the students with their work in the RSP room and leading the class from time to time. I loved how if Miss Maria had stuff to do, she would say sometimes, "Kaylee, can you help lead the class?" And of course, I would say yes. Leading the class to me was amazing because what I'm going to college for is to become an RSP teacher just like she is. I definitely want to say that I'm going to miss the school and the RSP room so much. And Miss Blake even told Casey and me that she was surprised that we did not have the key to the classroom because it felt like we owned the place. I know that I'm going to miss talking and seeing everyone here at Carver, but because of this school and what Miss Maria and Miss Rodriguez and Emily, even Miss Julie have taught me, I feel okay with leaving. And I feel that I'm ready to take on the world and be an adult. And I want to let Miss Maria and Emily and Miss Rodriguez and Miss Julie and all of the seniors know that I'm going to miss them. Thank you.
I first got here, I thought I was going to go with that for a minute. How the years come by so fast without us really knowing. From a very rough beginning to a better ending. When I first came to school, I was positive that I was going to be stuck in Waldorf education for another 4 years. I believe that I've done my years, but when my mom decided to put me in for another 4 years, I was like, dang, here we go again. I can tell you how I felt after these years. New but good, enjoyable, stressful, exciting but stressful at the same time. I have a lot of people to be thankful for, obviously from the seniors, but the real MVPs are in the crowd right now are my grandparents and my mom. For the longest time, you two have been part of my life since I was growing up, from living in your house to going out on my own. You've always been there for me to give me support all the way through high school, from giving me life advice to supporting my decisions I make and being a great outlet that I can never ask for better. You've been part of my life for the longest time, and without you guys, I wouldn't be the person or the man I am today. So without you guys, I don't know who I would be. I'm jealous to still see you have my part of my life and hopefully longer. My mom. From raising your children to be the best we can be, you've made decisions which I didn't really believe were good ones, but you did what was best and always telling me that things are always going to be all right. Like every day as a household at this point. You made some mistakes, but those mistakes never hold you back. You always smiled at me, always gave me great vibes, and just without you, I don't know who else I really would be. Without you, Mom, I don't think I would even be coming to school and speaking about how I feel after all of it. I love you, Mom. Thank you.
I love you, son!
At Carver, the friends I made brought the best and the worst out of me. But you know, like, y'all know your name, so I'm not gonna even say it. Y'all know who you are. In reality, I probably didn't get it anywhere else, and I'm grateful for it. I'm gonna get real with y'all. There was a point in time I was given a choice if I wanted to leave Carver and walk education behind. But in the end, if I felt I would have never known what would easily happen to me, what would happen to me physically or mentally. Beyond all that's been happening, I think I was gonna be here today, with all the people I call friends. Within these years, I learned more about myself and everyone else. A wise person once told me the easy path is the wrong path. The hardest path is the right one. Everyone's journey where they come from may be easy or hard, but part of the journey is the end. So what I encourage for everyone is that you go to your loved ones. Tell them that you're blessed and joyful that you are here celebrating with the accomplishments you've made throughout these years. Celebrate with your friends you've known for long periods of time. Celebrate the sacrifices you or your family made to be successful. I encourage you to congratulate yourself and to make these memories last as you forward and create your own path. Be the best person you can be and make a difference to those who be in your position or to life another person who isn't. Tell them that it will be all right and to just keep swimming. The path may hurt for some, but if you focus on the journey you are on today and in the future, you'll be all right. If you learn to accept those mistakes, it'll make you a better individual and a person. If you get knocked down, just keep swimming. And to everyone in this lobby, from the youngest toddler to the oldest senior, I ask you, how will you engage the world? Be the best person you can be. Be humble. Thank you, Carver. It's been one heck of a ride.
Good afternoon, my name is John Schaefer. I'd first like to thank everyone for coming. I'm so honored to stand up here today with my fellow classmates graduating. I remember first coming here as a little freshman, not having any idea what a small, Waldorf-inspired high school experience would be like. I still remember my first day of school as if it were yesterday. I was extremely nervous. I didn't know anyone but my sister. However, after my first day of school, I developed a friendship with two very important people that would later inspire me to just take life slow and live in the moment. As I went forward with my high school life, I developed more friendships with people I know I will never forget. Now, if I have to be honest, I was nowhere near a perfect student, especially during my junior and the beginning of my senior year. During that time, I stopped doing homework, didn't study for quizzes or tests, and would often disrupt the classroom. It got so bad I had to take summer school as well as a zero grade class during my senior year. Eventually, with the help of close friends and my supportive family, I was able to start doing my homework again. I'd really like to take some time to thank those who helped me become the person I am today. First, I would like to thank my dad for supporting me and believing that I could still be able to walk and graduate while I lost hope. I'd also like to thank my mom, her partner Nancy, and Jordan, my sister. They both gave me the motivation to finish high school and also inspired me to further my education. I'd also like to thank all of my friends throughout my high school life. They really made my high school experience unforgettable. Finally, I would like to thank my girlfriend, who inspired me to just sit down and do my homework assignments, as well as making my high school experience a better one. Overall, I know I will miss and never forget my experience at Carver. Thanks again for coming and supporting the class of 2019.
Good afternoon, Carver audience. My name is Juliana Panicao, and I'd like to say a few words about my experience at Carver. These 4 years at Carver High School have shown me so much and flew by so fast. When I first came to the school, I didn't know what to expect. Carver is a school where you come across many different people. I would like to thank the many different people that I came across and that stuck with me within the 4 years. Anna, when you first came, I didn't know what you were surprised by more. the fact that the school was really small or that you didn't know anyone. You were really quiet and shy. Little did I know that we would become, Little did I know that we would become really close and I could talk to you about anything. You've shown me over the years that it's okay to just be yourself and that I shouldn't worry about what people think. By the way, thanks for making physics fun in junior year by entertaining people and singing with me. Jasmine, thank you for being a supportive friend and being very emotional. I appreciate you a lot, and thank you for being the mom friend of the whole group. Giselle, the one who began the Latina Stay Winning movement. Thank you for being serious when I couldn't, for standing up for what you believe in, and for doing the best impression of me. I love you, Giselle. Emily, thank you for making me laugh all the time and having a big heart. We were the best duo in English class, even when Ms. Borso constantly told us to be quiet. Thank you for the bond we had that no one else really understood, so they just looked at us crazy. You were the first person to ever call me Buliana. So now, when I think of that name, it will remind me of you. Thank you for being a good, supportive, and caring friend. I love you, Emily.
I love you too, Juliana.
Miss Borso, the best English teacher in my 4 years of high school. Thank you for letting me be paper marshal and pass back papers when there was a giant stack pinned on the wall. Thank you for letting me say verse with you in front of the whole class and for letting me use your boiled water for cup of noodles. Miss Cook, I'd like to thank you for teaching us, freshman and senior year, and always willing to help your students. Thank you for being the energetic bit in the class when senioritis was wearing us out. Miss Pilati, thank you for being one of the reasons seniors like lunch period, because we could just go in your classroom and talk to you about almost anything. And thank you for letting us debate about who had the best outfits at the Met Gala 2019. I'd also finally like to thank Mom for believing in me, my older sister for being my leader through all of this and being an example, my niece and my little sister, sorry guys, for being one of the reasons I never quit, and the rest of my family for being a huge support system. I love you all, and congrats to our class of 2019.
Hello everyone, my name is Noah Baldwin, and here I am, standing up here. I can tell you there were more than a few close calls. There were more than a couple of times where I didn't think I would make it, but I did. I made it on the stage with these classmates that I've been with for 4 years, and I'm almost out the door. Like when you're trying to leave your relative's house after holiday festivities. Almost there, but you still have a few more goodbyes. I suppose it's kind of sad that today marks the official end of my childhood and the beginning of my adult life. Who are we kidding? I'll never really grow up. In fact, I quite refuse to. 4 years sounds like a long time, but it isn't. It flies by in a blur of laughter, confusion, and tears until you are standing on this stage with mostly confusion, maybe some laughter, and a 100% guarantee of tears. If my experience at Carver has taught me anything, which I must say it has taught me much, it is that this is what you can generally expect from life. Another thing it taught me is to accept that. I've learned from my time at this school that even with the tears and confusion, there will always be the laughter. Rage, denial, rebellion, we all had moments where we just felt like we couldn't handle it anymore. We're teenagers. That's what we're supposed to feel. But at the end of the day, I think one of the most important lessons you learn at high school is that there's always something or someone to pick you up and carry you on. You also learn to pick yourself up when no one else can. These were hard lessons to learn, and I'm still not sure I got it, but I think I'm on my way. The thing about it is that we're all doing our best. You, me, and everyone is trying to make their way in a world we don't really understand. And making it is a giant improv because no one gave anybody a script. But we are here. We made it on this stage, and that is what counts. We are on the next leg of our journey, and the way ahead is unclear, but it's there before us. My own journey has been long and unsure, as most people's are. But through it, I have come out to be the best person I can be right now. I have had so many people in my life pushing me onwards even when I just wanted to give up. My dad, my grandma, friends, family. All the people that I have around me have really encouraged me to push forward and grow. I often didn't listen. But when I did, it allowed me to realize my own potential. I procrastinated and whined and complained, but I think it says something that in spite of it all, I did it, and I am here. I could do the whole I'm grateful to this and that person and to the school and blah, 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 but that's bland and boring. No, I want to say something more. I want what I say to be meaningful and not just be the same traditional la-da-da-da. So with that, everything we have done and will do from here on out will be hard. We know that. But the idea is to push past the difficulties. You know, our school mascot is the phoenix, a creature that is reborn from its own ashes. Now, I think it's a testament of the people on this stage that we did not burn down. But in a way, we are being reborn. We are being reborn into individuals, no longer being pushed through the requirements, but instead pushing ourselves through the options. We here today have finished the apprenticeship and are on our way to becoming adepts. And for me, I cannot wait to begin that journey and look forward to the new moments, new memories, and new experiences that lie ahead. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Elaine Fox. We are graduating at a time when the future of our world is fragile and uncertain. We have 12 years to reverse the effects climate change will have on our planet, and there are growing amounts of political unrest all across the globe. It is easy to feel as if we are hopeless, but as I look around at the people I've spent 4 years with, I feel as if there's a glimpse of hope. Throughout our 4 years, we have learned from our teachers and peers as we have watched each other grow into the almost adults we are today. As we are thrust out into the world, it is important we remember the lessons we were taught. Our teachers worked hard to cultivate unique lesson plans that forced us to grow and become more socially aware. This has planted the seed of activism in many of us. We cannot forget this gift, the gift of knowledge and the ability to think critically. I implore you to take the experiences you had at Carver out into the world. They will remind you to become the best citizen you can be. As the certainty of our planet is falling apart, the torch is being passed to us. Someone once told me, you have a voice worth being heard. Be brave. Say what you need to say, however you need to say it. The world wants and needs your voice. And that is what we all must do. Use our voices to fight for what we believe in and the future we deserve. Thank you.
Thank you so much, students, for your words of humor and wisdom. So right now we are going to present the class of 2019, and I will present them to you, Board Member Pritchett. I am pleased to present the members of the class of 2019 from George Washington Carver School of Arts and Science, who have met all the requirements for graduation set forth by the state of California and the Sacramento City Unified School District.
Take a deep breath. On behalf of the Sacramento City Unified School District's Board of Education, I accept these graduates as having met all the requirements, and they are hereby granted their high school diploma.
know them well, but not that well. The program. Okay, Suad Abdoun. Luis Alvarado. Jill Baker-Reed. Noah Baldwin. Barcelona Boyd. Asia Calhoun. Ethan Kashat. And Nathan Castro Ramos is graduating but will not walk today, as will Camille Chappelle. Jasmine Chicas. Ara Danielian. Noah Emmons. Brody Espinoza. My apologies, I neglected Jake Bath's name. Thank you very much. Leah Farringer. Rachel Freeberg. Mary Gardner. Blue Garmin. Nevaeh Kaiser. Rachel Lepetti.
Part 2, Elizabeth Meeks. Casey Melliker. Kaylee Melliker. Ryan Mangel. Mikhail McCurchjohn. Ian Moore. Jose Olivares. Tyler Oros. Anahi Orozco. Giselle Pantoja. David Pickens II. Caroline Soto. Haley Reed. Colin Regan. John Schaefer. Suliana Tangitao.
Let's go, Sully! Sully!
You shot like me, Juliana.
Emily Sierra Molina. Elaine Voss. Tyreek Watkins. Victor Yetten.
Dear graduates, would you please stand up? I present to you the class of 2019. You can toss your thingy box. Move your tassels.